Welcome back.
Hi.
Grab the box of death.
That was
Oh, guys,
fast.
we're not up right now, I don't think.
No, we're not.
We are.
Oh, yeah,
kind
we
of.
are. Yep.
We are?
We're up. Okay.
The
Ooh,
layout's a
our
bit-
faces are a little spooky though.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when we all do that, so. Yep, we lost it again.
We can at least see you guys.
Hello?
now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
We can hear you.
That's a-
Not us, though.
The internet didn't go out, it's just hiccuping.
no.
Gosh, I'm here. I
Lost stream again.
You've frozen in Zoom test.
We lost streaming. Can you hear us?
Oh yeah,
can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Looks like we lost stream again. Oh, we're just frozen on stream.
It's not frozen for me.
not frozen for me either. Okay, Chelsea says that they can see and hear.
It's still glitching in and out.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the DM with the sister bot is going on and off.
Yeah, we're having internet issues.
Hey,
Gotta love tech issues, folks.
yay.
To be fair, I think this is the first time it's been our internet.
True.
That is
Apparently,
true.
we're robotic and glitchy, but live.
Yeah,
According to
bitrate
Mhm.
is very, very low on the stream.
Like Logan's face on stream to me for me looks aces,
Actually,
but everyone else.
it looks like we're. It looks like we're back up entirely. at
Yeah,
this-
I got
Looks like we're
full.
coming back.
I've got full internet now. It looks like it's good. We're
Logan,
still voice connected, a little weird. Yeah,
box of death.
yeah. I already fixed it once. I gotta fix it again.
Sorry, I'm just letting you.
All right.
Because if it's on Primark for more than a minute, the character just dies, I believe, as a rule.
Hey, I don't like that.
No.
Try me.
No, please
All right.
don't.
All right. How we
bitch.
doing? Is that better? I don't see us. My stream is still down. It looks like, but I guess I'm refreshing. I see us. All right. I can hear us.
So
We're
sorry.
good. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
I'm being told off in the chat.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like
Well,
we're
that was fun.
your
Let's get
family
back
is-
to this.
Yeah.
You
So,
guys?
let me check and see if we have any. We're dropping anything right now.
Other than the sick track.
Sorry.
Appreciate
It's
the
patience.
storming terribly where Logan and I live, so we could be getting a little bit of interference from the storm. We apologize.
Don't know why there's no.
We're not on
stream
like
up.
sleep or something.
Stormy weather. By midnight together.
I dream clearly now, the rain has gone. I'm playing a part in my other campaign.
Fine, what did Nathan Multiclaster have the charisma to? We killed the chat with robots.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Logan, do you want to go to break a little early maybe and see if that sorts it, or no?
Well, I wanted to get a little into this, but if we can, let's try it one more time.
Oh wait, no, they're saying it's much better now. You sound fine.
I moved us over to a different server on Discord as well, but it wasn't just
Mhm.
that; it had to be something else as well. But all right, so there we go. Let's go ahead and give this a try again. So he is continually pacing back and forth, he did not seem to care or acknowledge.
Okay. Callie just takes a sip of her tea.
Okay.
Martin's just listening and then like watching Callie and making sure that she's like okay when she's drinking the tea because everyone seemed freaked out by it. He wasn't sure why.
So what do you want?
Well, first of all, I believe I have a bit of a delivery from a certain captain down at the lagoon. And I'll reach into his pack and pull out the tools and just walk forward and set them in front of him. I was told you were waiting on these.
Sort of.
Well, regardless, I'd be curious into looking at their value myself, but that's not why we're here either. First of all, Nix, I believe we have a
I'm waiting
gift
for a lot of things from that ship. Why were these delivered by hand?
Well, because a cursory examination showed that they got a lot of evil mojo in them, which I'm sure you knew.
They're magic.
As far as we can tell, no actual magic. At least didn't come up on our radar.
Just cursed then.
Probably.
Something to that effect.
Oh, hello, Basil.
Mr. Brown.
Nix, I do believe we have a gift to present.
Indeed. Mr. Bezel, my name is Thomas Nix. Let me show you this. And Thomas pulls out the coin from the that they had gotten from oh god, I can't blanking on the name right, but from the members of the Tusk, the Shovel Tusks, that was their name of the guild. Holds out the coin and just places it before him.
He walks up to it and looks over it.
A coin from another land, gifted to me through quite an interesting beating. Very valuable from where it's from.
I have not seen Electrum for a long time. And he kind of sniffs over the small blue coin. Well, the large blue coin. There's actually a fairly large blue coin, about silver dollar sized. And they kind of just like curls up and sits on it. Hey, you did say that was a gift or no? I can't remember if you said that was a gift yet or not.
I think that one was the gift, and then the tool set was the business.
Yeah, but you did tell him that the coin was a gift. He wouldn't have sat on it if it wasn't a gift. So I
was the implication that Thomas was making. They weren't.
Okay, yeah. Just wanted to make sure why the sudden danger music, because it's a danger noodle. The danger noodle.
The ultimate danger noodle.
Now I'm imagining it with the face of a ball python, and I'm gonna cry. That's
yes,
so
absolutely.
cute.
It has the face of a ball python.
You're projecting Douglas onto Bezel, and I love.
Oh, now Bezel looks like a good
There we go.
snooter.
Which is going to be a shame when we have to kill him later.
Good luck.
Why would you say that to me?
I'm sorry.
You attacked me in my own home. Sorry, dear.
To be fair, we're all in our own homes.
Valid.
Good point. I think we're all on the internet, so I don't know that it counts.
The internet is my home.
I'm such a walking meme that I'm.
Calm down there, lawnmower man. All right, sorry. Deep cut there.
That would be a large emotion.
Anyway,
All right.
so
Imagine putting yourself into a computer before there was the internet. Like, I'm on this super network that's like 4 computers that'll all be obsolete in about a year.
Oof.
All right.
So, now that we got those 2 things out of the way, I figured we might discuss a bit of other business we had with you. Namely, we've been told you have some information we need on a certain group that's been causing a lot of trouble. Where's...
It's valuable.
And it is. Group of people wearing red coats, using some sort of firearm with an arachnid on it. That ring any bells?
Just as it did the last time you asked me. I looked into it.
And did you find anything? It'd be a shame if you couldn't come up with it.
I may or may not have found all sorts of information.
And, oh, go ahead.
Just a clarification question, Logan. When the halfling that told Thomas this information, he did say that they worked for Bezel, correct? Or just that Bezel was the one who would have the most information on them?
Bezel knew about them, not that they worked for them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the timekeepers that work with and for him.
That part I knew, but I thought I'd heard that the codes... I must be remembering wrong. Continue.
So, first, I need to know that this information is going to be valuable. Can you give me a tidbit that would make me more interested in the whole package? Bezel?
I'm trying to think. Hold on.
Oh, good.
I'm pausing. He's not.
You're good.
Just imagining this little fey dragon just kind of staring off into space, his eyes just kind of unfocused. And you're like, hey, oh, sorry, I was thinking about food. Okay. Like,
That's a mood.
snakes are wont to do. God, now I have to draw him as a snooter boober. God damn it, God.
Like you were upset about
Yeah.
this.
Like you're upset about drawing anything.
If Callie
Related
dies
to the
again, he
game.
might be upset again.
That's too real. That's too real. I was thinking more so, should he be like a ball python, or should he look like a hawk? Because that would be
Ball python.
very good stuff. Tessa mouthing hog nose.
He kind of stands up and then moves around the coin a little bit and then sits back down, like getting a little more comfortable. Their organization is called Cylinder.
Is there a reason for that name, or is it just
Several.
Nathan bites
Kind
his
of
lip,
grins.
and he's trying not to make a joke. He's just standing.
You see Thomas give him an eye.
And he just mouths egg tubes.
Here you go. It's an eyeball for you.
He just mouths egg tubes.
Look like you might need this.
I'm sorry, what?
I was
Now-
thinking that jokes.
so? You found out what they're called. What does the what are you asking for the rest of the information?
What have you got?
Got all kinds.
Well, you have, kind of out turns his pocket. I have this bowl of mint. And he grins.
Now is not the time for those sort of jokes, Nathaniel.
That's what I would expect you would have left after losing your business.
You're funny.
We have a coin if you want something so boring as that.
Do they all look like this? And he wiggles his butt.
Unfortunately, no.
Then I'm not interested. I have plenty of those.
How do you feel about secrets?
If they're actually secret, then I'm interested.
Well, I just happen to be in connection with someone who's very, very good with secrets.
and you have sway.
Depends on what you mean by sway.
He turns back to Owen.
Yep.
Well, we can spend all day guessing and trying to bargain, but I know one thing that people are always in need of, and that's services. If there's anything you need done, we might be willing to hear that out.
Or I can give you certain connections.
Any connection you have, I probably already have. And I have in large groups of people that want to do things for me, so I'm not sure what you have to offer.
Is Callie's teacup empty?
Yeah, she's drunk it by now.
But, like, is it empty? Did she finish it off?
Mm-hmm.
Thomas gently takes the teacup from from Callie, and he sets it upside down on the coffee table or any table nearby.
There's only one table in this room, and it is the
Yeah, then he sets it upside down and just looks at Buzzle.
All right. I hope that's not going to stain.
He flips it back up. I take it you don't know what that means, then.
Oh, I'm very aware of what it means. It means there's going to be a ring.
I'll have it cleaned up later. Ah, there you go. Well, if you're not sure if the symbolism of it is, then I guess you don't have that many connections.
He like scoots and turns back to Owen. I just don't know what you can offer me. I'm sorry. There was one other thing you wished to discuss. Wasn't there another thing? Somebody mentioned there might be another thing, I thought.
I don't know if there was.
I think it was mostly...
Okay.
I feel like we're just trying
Diamonds.
to get the diamonds and also getting him to talk in general.
Oh, yeah, the
about
diamonds
those.
as well. Well, there was also the issue of looking for a location of particular diamonds we might be needing.
Diamonds.
A specific,
Sounds very boring.
a very specific diamond that's apparently very difficult to find.
I'm listening.
I'm sure you're aware of the components needed for resurrection magic. I'm sure you traded them quite a deal. Am I wrong?
So you need a resurrection diamond. Who are you trying to bring back?
Don't know yet.
Callie instinctively puts her hand over the dragon tooth necklace without realizing it.
Could be any number of people. We just like to be prepared.
He gets up and moves around the coin and flips it over. Sits back down on it.
He's a very interesting business person who doesn't actually want to do business.
If you could show me for one moment that you had anything that I cared about or needed.
Thomas drops form and goes into the pseudo form of Nyx. Is this enough incentive for you?
Am I supposed to be impressed? And he looks over at his half-orc friend who does the same and turns into someone you recognize. At least some of you do.
You motherfucker!
Primeheart.
Zyger stands there before you.
You mean Xyler.
Xyler.
Xyler. Nyx's face just like drops, as in like there's more. They just are surprised and they don't know how to react.
Owen,
I would wait. But
wait for what?
He looks over at his companion and says, "Her cup runneth over."
He just mouths to Xyler, "Bound you." Just
Xyler just grins and waves.
I'll tell you what. I think there is one thing we can do that very few people would be willing to do for. How many people do you
I
know
have all the concubines I need, thank you.
You're very funny. How many of your people are on the regular going into another plane?
How many of your people are regular? Sorry, I just... Because we're selling...
Zero. The answer is zero in this group.
Norm, never mind. Other planes, such as...
Oh, you know, little places called the Shadowfell and Feywild. Lots of really interesting things down there. Lots of very interesting information to be gained.
Feywild is known to me. The Undermist leads directly there. I haven't gone myself, but I've hired others. It's been difficult, but not impossible. But the Shadowfell does intrigue me. How do you travel there?
Well, that would be a very valuable secret now, wouldn't it?
He stands up and curls around and picks up the coin in his teeth and walks back to his seat, puts it next to the drink and takes a sip. Then comes walking back over.
You said you wanted proof that we had something you needed or wanted.
Is it reliable?
Very. At which point he will reach into his bag and pull out the Necro Unicorn horn. Things like this, they're common day to day for us. He puts it back in his bag.
And he walks over and kind of looks over and sniffs it a little bit. I think we can deal.
Well, we'll see about that.
And that is where we're going to take our break. With the reverse. That was very good, sir. All right, guys, we'll be back in 20 minutes. See you at 9:23, as long as the internet holds out. And we'll be back with Penn Juliet, or what? I don't... Penn Jillette. Sorry, I was Juliet. I misread it. Okay, sorry. One of my favorite people. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in 20 minutes. Bye. Let's hope this works. One. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Countless Heroes. Thanks for sticking around with us. We really appreciate that. Hey, what do you think of that new art, huh? Well, not new art. The art's been around for a little bit, but that new style, that's how we're going to be looking. That's what the whole mid-roll is going to be like. A lot of big, beautiful art, subtle names, and it's going to be really, really nice. So if you would like to be a part of that, you can send over artwork. You can post on Twitter and tag us, or you can send it to art@nerdsmith.org.
There is also Tumblr.
Works. We do have a Tumblr. We've got you put it on the Discord. You can put it in a lot of places. Anyway, the point is you can get it to us. But I think art@nerdsmith.org works. But I will double check tomorrow morning and make sure that it works. So as of tomorrow, you absolutely can send any artwork you'd like to art@nerdsmith.org. Yes, Nate?
I've also I've started a hashtag Countless Heroes fan art tag on Instagram, where I kind of I kind of catalog all of the fan art that I've done. So if you guys want to join that fucking party, please do. It's lonely.
I mean, just invite Callie if it's a fucking party.
Oof. That's a good oof.
Are you guys hearing an echo from me at all?
Not really, no.
Not on our end.
Could be stream being weird again.
I don't hear it. Yeah, I just listen to stream. I don't hear it. So, all right, let's talk about World Anvil. That the most robust, and I can't do it anymore. Angela called me out on doing it the other day, and I can't do it anymore. The most robust and feature-rich world building and campaign management software that exists on the internet today. That's not at all how I say it. I'm gonna go back and watch it now. Gosh darn it, Angela! It is an amazing piece of software. You should go check it out at worldanvil.com. And you can check out our World Anvil, which has over 10,000 words on it already, and it looks barren to me. So we have tried to put a lot on there. We've got over, I think, 80 or 70 or 80 NPCs at this point. All the players, of course. So we're approaching people. Just 100 articles on that, and then we've got several articles for all the locations, and we've got the map and all of that. Anyway, then of course we have the timeline and everything over there. I'm not sure if all that's over there. The downtimes will be on there as well, all in chronological order. That will all be coming up very, 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 very soon, if it's not already up there, because next month starts. What are they calling it?
World Ember.
World Ember.
Is it World Ember? Like World Ember, but also December World Ember. I like both. They both
remember?
World Ember is there. It's like Wanomaimo, whatever it's called. What is that? I can never get it.
NaNoWriMo.
World something writing.
Oh, is that how it's pronounced? I never attempted to try.
National Novel Writing Month. NaNoWriMo.
NaNoWriMo.
Nailed it.
Nanu. So it's it's Nanu, and but this is like their version of it. So December, it's writing while you're in between families when you're sitting there, and you just wish you weren't. For some of you only, I understand. You could be typing away on World Anvil on your phone and writing amazing articles, doing amazing things. Or if you're like me, you just be working as soon as you're done opening gifts and having lunch and stuff at your mother-in-law's house. So once you're done with that, yeah, everything's great. You come back home, you do a stream, you type up a bunch of stuff. But they're shooting for 10,000 words in December on your building your world in World Anvil. They've got prizes and amazing things. They'll be doing best article, and I believe that Ange and I are committing to putting together the first full official write-up for the Goa as one of our submissions for the for it. So it will be completely formatted, fully written, all the flavor, all the backstory, all of it, everything. I know that Secondhand Samurai, who's a representative of theirs, has a soft spot in his heart for those hard bodies. So that didn't come out right.
Oof.
Soft spot in his heart for those hard bodies. There's a clip for you.
That's a sentence I want on a shirt.
We have a few phrasings tonight that
Speaking of shirts, are we allowed to talk about that, Logan? Those shirts? Oh, hurry up with those shirts.
Because I do not even have no. We're not talking about anyone's favorite anything that's tiny and round on any sort of shirt. That's not no. We're not talking about that. I don't know if it's coming before the end of the year. I am so stuck in a rut. I have 3 things on the website. We have a huge major update to the website that's coming. We've been doing little updates. We've been revamping things here and there, but we have the new membership system coming out, and with that, at the same time, comes out our shop because they're interconnected. So we will be able to give discounts to members and have special products only for members and things. Like when we get to our subscription drive next year, the goal is to have pins for every show, only available to members. So it's a lot to
do.
But the point
Russ
is,
and Gabby are in good standing then for those.
Yeah, but you sign up. You either it's for new and upgrading subscribers only, unless you're at the top tier, of course, because we don't have a way to go for a lot of people. But as
Speaking
you
of Secondhand
sign
Samurai,
up
hello, my friend.
Upgrade. Oh well, hello. They'll be able to purchase. Anyway, that's the goal, so they'll be able to purchase extra pins. So you get one or 2 for being a part of it. But if you want extra pins for the other shows that you want to be involved in, you can. If you have, this is way premature, but if you have suggestions for pins you'd like to see from your favorite show, go ahead and you can put those suggestions on our Discord inside of the channels for your favorite shows. And the audience. Not every show has come up with an idea for their pin yet. So I know every show out there is looking for ideas, including this one. I know that we've got a couple of fan favorites, or at least internal fan favorites. But yeah, and I'm not sure it will be a Mo pin because I'm pretty sure we're just going to do a series of Mo pins at some point because Mo is just amazing.
Can I also get a DM pin as well, please?
Hopefully by January. We will also be looking at having our first Kickstarter up for Elemental Enamel, which is the pin side of Nerdsmith, which we will have a series of new pins that we'll be bringing out with that. We have a very special artist we've just landed. It's all kind of happening. We're looking for interest, and we're gonna get the art done, and then I'm hoping to get some of the pins made so we can take pictures and show people exactly what they're going to look like because I think they're just going to be stellar. So, and if anybody wants to buy my truck so I can do all this, just let me know. I'd really appreciate that. So anyway, it's a 2012 Chevy with about 120,000 miles on it, but and I probably owe more than it's worth. But that's neither here nor there. So if somebody wants to buy the truck off of me, pay me for it, and then take over the payments too, that would really be the best way.
Logan, have we ever mentioned how much we love and appreciate what you do for this network?
I thank you. I do appreciate that. I'm just gonna say that because the only other things I have would make me sound like Russell.
It is easily echoed, by the way, readily echoed.
I'm echoing again. Is that what you're saying?
No. I like how my camera went out of focus as I made the face of "God damn it, look."
It's like blur that. So anyway, we were talking about World Anvil. Gosh darn it! And their Nanu month of writing, 10,000 words, and like I said, there's articles and things. I don't know all the details. Angela's the one to talk to about that. If you'd like to know more information, though, I suggest you head over to the World Anvil Discord page, which we'll throw the link up there because that is a happening place. if you enjoy writing of any kind, we're not just, world building and fantasy writing, and you don't have to be into D&D or writing for D&D or whatever. It is a happening place. Go over there, take a look, and go to worldanvil.com. You can learn more details there. And then on top of all that, support World Anvil. They have a Patreon, and you get voting rights and a lot of extra things going. So they're an amazing happening place. They're hip people, and they want to do what, just like us, just like a lot of people out there. They want to do this for a living because they're offering a quality product, and they really deserve all the success they're having and much, much more. So go and help that out, become part of something great, and light up the Forge. Speaking of doing something great, let's talk really briefly about Nerdsmith, although half of the last spot was about Nerdsmith. As I said, we're doing a huge major update to the website, which will be coming very soon, but we are very proud to be part of the Nerdsmith network, along with 46 other creators. Actually, that includes us. 46 creators includes us, all 17 of us, but we also overlap on a lot of shows. And not only has the network done over, now what's the network at hours-wise? Tess?
We were at just over 500 last
my count. Now.
We are well over 600. I will be officially.
We're well over as a network, over 600 hours worth of entertainment. More so than that. I think we need to go back.
I think we're hitting 7.
I think we're well over that because we alone, this show is 400 hours of. We've just crested 400 hours. I think tonight or tomorrow night, because we got to take out Discover RPG. That was the only one show that was still being counted and all of that other stuff. But all of our other streaming content, we're over 400 hours. We are very close approaching. We're pretty close to approaching the length of many other major shows. So. We're definitely gonna surpass them. I don't remember how many hours Critical Role was.
And we're only level 7.
Yes, only level 7, and that's and that last arc went a lot quicker than I expected. So we'll see how the rest of it goes.
Let me rephrase. We're only just level 7.
So Nerdsmith is always looking for new and exciting shows to bring into our fold. If you know of any out there that oh God, yes. Thank you very much, Secondhand Samurai. We have like 12 things we have to update every time we bring on a show. We don't always remember to do it everywhere. That's part of what the new membership system is going to fix. It's going to put a lot of that into one place and make it a lot easier, make all the bonus content instant access, and it'll be amazing. Anyway, that's all going to be fixed in. We'll get that updated. Thank you so very much. We really appreciate that.
I'll have it updated in the next 15 minutes.
Yes. So thank you. Anyway, so that's Nerdsmith in a nutshell. And then lastly, when you support this show either through Nerdsmith or through the Twitch here, you are not only supporting the Nerdsmith network, you're also supporting us. But we take all of the money you support with us and we pass it on to the Forever Project because we wanted to do something great with this show. And dividing an artist's proceeds 17 different ways seemed a little ridiculous. So we decided we'd much rather pass that on and share the excitement of doing that amazing thing with you. So when you donate to this show, you're donating to them. So that is what that's about. If you'd like to know more about the Trevor Project, go to trevorproject.org, thetrevorproject.org, and you can find out all about it there. Alrighty. Let's get back to it, because that was a little bit longer than we expected. A little long break plus long me jibber jabbering over here. That's that. Oh, if you are in the UK, I think, Secondhand Samurai, where is the convention you guys are going to be at this weekend? It's going to take a second for her to respond. But World Anvil is going to be at a convention this weekend in I assume the UK. But I might be wrong.
What about my country?
It might be wrong.
They're
going to be at a convention. So London at Hammersmith, in Hammersmith. They have a convention going on there. Don't make the face.
London
some of our audience might
Comic-Con, question mark.
No, it's ModCon.
ModCon.
What was it called? Star.
If you send one of the mods a link, Secondhand Samurai, we'll be able to share that for you.
Well, the mods actually can see it, so the mods should be able to see that link. And no,
I'm a mod. I can't see it.
Huh.
Negative.
Yeah, just send it over to one of the mods.
Send it over to Heather, who is in chat at the moment.
Yep, send it to Rashida Bastet.
It is
Bastet.
Dragon Meat.
Fair
The
enough.
con is called Dragon
Ooh,
Meat.
that sounds awesome.
That sounds cool.
Dragon Meat in Hammersmith. There is no place better. Freaking
Unfortunately, to get to London this weekend, that's like 80 quid return. I don't have that. As much as I'd love to just go and support our Amble buddies.
What, isn't UK like the size of like a slightly large city, pretty much? Like,
Yeah, isn't just a hop,
don't
skip,
you
and a
have,
jump?
I thought you had all that socialized transportation over there. So
Yeah.
it's free
Oh, it did. It doesn't mean
everywhere.
it's cheap.
The
Don't you
tubes.
just- don't you just have a-
teleported?
You
Can't
know
you
what?
just use your free healthcare to just get a piggyback ride from your doctor all the way up?
He could, but there's like a 3-day wait.
Fair.
Don't even. We are all so flippin' jealous.
That's the sad part.
Yeah, as Logan and I shopped for health insurance today.
But yeah, we shot for
Very
health insurance
jealous.
today, so that was not fun. Sitting here going, gee, God, I wish we were socialized medicine.
It's all died.
So, anyway, that's that. So, thank you guys very much for listening to us ramble on about all of that. Please give all your love and support to World Anvil and to Nerdsmith. And we appreciate any support you send our way as well. Again, we pass all of that along to the Trevor Project. And I didn't say all that to recap for you. I did it for me because that's what takes me back and gets me to the groove. All right. So let's talk about D&D.
Really quickly, the forms of who you want to support should now be updated. Sorry. I apologize.
Excellente.
I don't know why, but I knew you were going to do that.
The Excellente?
Mm-hmm.
Should we do a recap of what we've been doing before the break?
Yes, we should actually. That's a good thing we need to do more often. I keep forgetting to do that. And that was a suggestion by a very, very good and dear friend called Secondhand Samurai that we should do that every and Demetrius. I think it was both of them. Anyway, so basically you guys went off to Bezel's and had a little
Interesting discussion.
there you go. A little back and forth, which Owen, while you were losing most of the time, I think Owen pulled it up in the end and pulled back a little bit of control of the situation with his last comment. They are looking to get information about a group called the Cylinder, which is the ones who carry the arcane guns with the spider threat motif. And in exchange, Owen has promised, or at least is suggesting that he will tell him how to get in and out reliably to the Shadowfell. So the Bezel, the fairy dragon, sitting on the table in front of you, this tiny little diminutive creature, smirks a little and looks up at you. Just waits.
So, I take it you know what that is.
I know where it's from.
Well, as I said, we should be able to come to some sort of arrangement. You have info you need, or perhaps services you need. You have info I need.
What is it exactly you're promising?
Well, I'll tell you what. Depending on the information you've got, if it is truly useful for us, I'd be happy to, at the very least, have this little trinket here. And furthermore, we'll be going there more frequently. I can certainly guarantee as well that if I find any more interesting items that I think you might be interested in, you'll get first pickings. Because that's just That's just the tip of the iceberg, my friend.
Not good enough. I want to know where the portal is and how to get through it.
Oh, I'm not sure you have enough to buy that from me, friend. You're welcome to prove me wrong.
What is your interest in this group?
Their goals, their leadership, identity, workings, whatever you might know.
I don't know any of their identities. All their
Well, that's a bad
motivations.
start for you, isn't it?
Are you going to interrupt me every time I start talking?
Oh, you had fun doing it earlier, man.
He actually waited for everyone to stop talking. I don't think he interrupted anybody. He actually
he-
paused, a long pause after people stopped talking, and then turned away from them. Mostly because he was dumbfounded.
Mostly referring to the fact that it was rude as fuck.
Oh, yeah. Rude as fuck, sure.
Yeah.
He was definitely that. Every time. All right, hold on.
Thank you, Secondhand Samurai. Thank you so much.
Everyone knows it's Bezel's
I
favorite
gotta find
music.
it in here. Oh, there it is.
God,
We love you so
fucking
much,
love
Secondhand
you.
Samurai.
Negotiating.
I love how this has become your doom.
I need to put on there. DM reserves the right to delay playing it until an appropriate time.
That's fair.
Right in the
Absolutely
middle
not.
Never.
Fine,
It would
right
not
in
have
The
been
middle of the
of-
resurrection. The
Yeah,
middle of
right in the middle of
resurrection.
resurrection. Just there we
Like last night? Fuck no, that was too emotional.
go.
Look at
Hey, you joined.
Did I say dance party? I didn't say dance party. I did say dance party. Shit.
Dance, magic,
Yeah,
dance.
take that out.
Oh my god. I
White
love
guy
it.
over by. All right. We're definitely raising the price of that too.
Love you, Logan. I
It's
love
only
this
half over.
song.
Oh god, that's a long song. Okay.
I love our community.
So
Keep going.
We'll try to get back into this. I may have one better.
Oh, really?
I have something in my possession that I no longer want. But I don't let anything go without getting something for it.
You have my attention.
And he looks to Xyler. And Xyler walks over and flips through some papers and comes back over to the table. And he puts a piece of paper. He hands it to you. It's kind of folded in half. He hands it to you. As you unfold it, I'm going to DM you.
That's definitely a different song.
It's more in the neck of the woods of the lecture swing. Damn it.
Here.
No, I'm sad.
That's the Discover RPG song. We can't cross the streams that much.
I like. I appreciate the additional.
That's right. Crossing the
constraint.
streams is pretty bad.
I would like
Oh,
to
that's
just.
just lewd. Why would?
God damn it.
What I
Jeff.
miss?
Nothing better.
You responded.
All right.
I love you so
Best
goddamn
possible
much.
response.
Joseph. Fucking adore you, Joseph. Jesus.
Well, That's certainly interesting.
It belonged to them, along with all the others.
You're saying all along? Or was it a recent acquisition?
I am telling you what I know.
Well, do you know how long they have had this in their possession?
Not for 2 weeks. I don't know how long before that. Or was it 3 weeks ago? When the hell did the castle get pushed over? Was that 5 weeks ago? What are we at
Somewhere
now?
around there.
That was a long time
However
ago.
long ago the castle got pushed over, about a week after that.
Cool.
They have them locked away. I know where.
Interesting. Well, I would certainly be interested in acquiring information from this. I ain't gonna tell you how to get in the portal, though. No, not for that. I will, however, say, if you're so interested, why need to know where the portal is if you can always just rely on us to get stuff from it for you? Why even? Besides, you wouldn't want to send any of your unsuspecting teams to their uncertain dooms in a place they've never been before. You want the people who've been there before. You want the people who've faced that hellscape.
Not always.
You want the people. You want the people you know will come back. People who've come back before.
Actually, it'd be a convenient place to send people that I don't want to come back.
That's also true.
He starts pacing around a little bit. My final offer. I'll tell you everything I know about the cylinder.
In exchange, I tell you where the portal is.
And you can have that.
Might I have a moment of privacy to discuss with my associate?
Well, I want to hear what the including was first.
Girl.
Yeah.
Including the weapon we found nearby. It has that symbol on it that you're looking for.
That certainly does sweeten the pot. If you don't mind, I'd like to have a word with my associates in private, so we not discuss it.
In exchange, just to be clear, the location of the portal and how to safely traverse it.
Very well. Let me discuss with my council.
And at that point, almost seeming like magic, Me opens the doors into the hallway and then opens the doors into one of the side rooms that you can go and talk in.
Thank you for your time. We will return shortly.
When the group goes into the side room, Nyx holds up a hand as in don't talk just yet, puts on their eyes of minute seeing, and they're going to look around the room to see if there's any sort of magical stones or any sort of magical glyphs that are used for listening in.
You don't find anything.
I find none.
You take the time and you do a thorough search and you don't find anything.
All right, we can talk.
All right.
You guys are so suspicious. This tea is great.
Well, last time I had a drink here, I was compelled to tell the truth under any circumstances.
And I don't drink when you meet new unsavory folk that you don't quite know. Even then, I still don't drink.
But honesty is the best policy.
That's true.
Forced honesty in a sort of business
Honesty's
section.
Honesty's the best policy when you can trust everyone else at the table to be honest.
And when you can afford to be honest.
Oh,
Anyway.
it's safe.
I figure y'all should know about this. And he unfolds the paper, showing a figure wearing full black plate mail, and a helmet with no faceplate. It's a blonde woman.
What's that?
You all remember a nocturne that had a face?
No.
Can't say that I do.
All the big bulking ones.
You three. I'm sure you remember.
Yeah, Amy, right?
That was a long time ago.
The one that worked for the king, that could remember, that could think
Yeah.
and talk.
Right.
I don't think I ever saw them, but I remember them coming up.
Also, you.
They've got-
Yeah.
They've got her. I assume. And apparently, she's been in their position for a while. We know this group wants things to do with the portal, so it makes sense.
So then, holding an entire person hostage is what is happening.
If she's a nocturne, is she even a person?
It's weird in between. She was talking. I've talked to her.
That doesn't
You
mean
remember
she's
people.
mortal.
Why does that concern us, anyways?
Just
That's my
because something is not mortal doesn't mean they're not a person. That's
What does she do for us, is the question.
She could have a lot of information.
a lot of information.
Think about it. She's been in their control. She was in control of the king before. She is a product of that goddamn portal. She's seen what makes the Nocturnes.
That doesn't necessarily mean that she'll tell us.
No, but we're also getting information that we need on the group and some sort of weapon that they
But
use.
we're giving quite a bit back.
That's the concern.
Especially
That's the thing.
considering safe passage is dubious at best.
Yeah.
Mm,
And I will not, no matter what we do, I will not tell them who they need to talk to get safe passage. If anything, I'd tell them that it requires a ritual, dealing with a demon that protects it. They can deal with it from there.
Another point. Clever not telling them how long it's gonna last.
No, we wouldn't want to delay it. We wouldn't want to tell
No, of
them that we're
course
planning
not.
on closing it.
I
That'd be
mean,
Why is
bad
that?
business.
it's open right now. It'll be open for a little bit. If something were just to happen to close it, that's a shame. It really is.
Portals are unstable.
Sometimes they just.
Indeed, indeed.
Well, Owen, I trust your judgment. That's what I'm going to tell you about.
I just don't want that person mentioned.
I would never.
I didn't assume you would. I'm just making sure that's clear. But I'm fine to tell them about the portal. They could find it themselves. They've got to know it's somewhere within reachable distance if we have access to it that readily.
They can
What's
deal
the
with
guarantee that the
dangers.
vessel doesn't tell them?
What's the guarantee that she'll keep them safe? Or will want to spare them?
Well, and
She's a
Yeah,
little.
given that what she did yesterday,
She is not a little girl.
No.
You saw that flashback. Or no. No, you weren't there, were you, Nathan? No.
He is very
You
aware
didn't
that she's not a little girl.
Yeah.
He's acutely aware.
either way, given that she tried to kill Pinball yesterday,
And us.
Sort of succeeded.
I don't think that's our concern anymore. I think if she wants him dead, she's going to do it.
Absolutely.
So, we tell them the location, tell them it requires communion with the demon that holds sway over it. Nothing further.
And the ritual. that you need to have safe passage, so you need multiple people in order to actually use it.
Do they need to know about the ritual, though? We can just say that we...
Safe passage. If we don't tell them, it's not safe. And that's bad faith. And it's not a
fair. To be fair, it's not even safe. We don't know the other passage.
It's not safe with us.
It's safe. And it's the only reason we've been able to go in and out.
It's as safe as we can possibly make it.
Exactly. That doesn't mean they need to know
and it's
that.
safe. And it's safe enough that we've used it like that.
They don't necessarily need to know how unsafe it is.
I'm sure he's aware how unsafe the Shadowfell is.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, are you all comfortable with that?
As long as names aren't mentioned and it's kept general, sure.
They'll want to figure out how that ritual works. They'll want to know how it's done.
We don't know how that ritual is done.
Okay.
Then what's
and
the
I'm
point
sure
in
that
telling
they
them?
have.
We
Sure,
know
they have
about the
mages in
ritual.
their employ.
But we have no idea how to do it. We're giving them all the information we have.
All right, let's do it. And he'll knock on the door to be some.
So me will open the door, then they will open the door into the main room. Just kind of wait there for you to walk back into the large poker room with the wood balls and the beautiful carpet and the felt lined table. You sit down around the poker chips again, looking down at Bezel, the very, very cute and tiny fairy dragon. Elder fairy dragon. They finally made a distinction between lesser and elder, which is nice.
All right. I think we've come to an agreement. We tell you the location and how we safely pass through that portal, and you tell us everything you know about the cylinder. Agreed?
That's all you want.
Well,
And
everything offered previously. The location, the information, the weapon.
I just want to be clear. It felt like a trick. I understand now.
just the information we came with, but the rest of the offer's fine too.
Yeah, we want the information, the nocturne,
I want to
the
be
weapon.
clear that I expect that if I wished, I could leave here with your worded instructions and arrive at that portal sometime within a reasonable amount of time. Is that something you can provide?
It might take a bit of extra research. We can't supply all the resources it takes, but we can tell you what you need to look into. Everything we know.
That is not the location of the portal.
Oh, we can tell you that too.
We can give you the location of the portal.
Okay. That's fine.
We've used it ourselves. That's we know where it is.
He looks out at the demon unicorn horn, the shadow unicorn horn, and looks back at you. I gathered.
All right. Seems we have an agreement.
The Cylinder is an organization, and I don't know where they come from exactly. They seem to have appeared sometime in the last 20 years. Maybe a little longer. Accounts vary. They seem closely tied with the king, although none of my sources knew the king could prove that the king knew anything about it. Some sort of secret organization that protected the king they were in charge of the Nocturne. Maybe they created them, I'm not sure. Their weapons are arcane in nature. They don't function well for anybody not designed for, so be careful when you play with it. I hear one of your friends has a tendency to steal weapons that don't belong to them. Likes to tinker and play. Get turned all manner of color.
I was gonna say, I tinker. I was like, I don't steal a weapon.
There were 3 different types of Nocturne. 100 were created of the more traditional type that you've run into before. 3 sergeants, and then 1 lieutenant. That's who we have. The only thinking Nocturne, the only one that doesn't seem controlled. We believe that the name Cylinder is in reference to their weapons, but also because there are 8 letters in it. If it has any other meaning, I don't know what it is. There seems to be some figurehead at the head of it that eludes us. Although if I ever do discover that information, I will pass it along as part of this deal. My feelers are still out. The organization's goals at this point seem unclear. They seem scattered right now, like they're just readying for something to come. The Nocturne are being used and trained again as they used to be. As if they're readying for a big moment.
I take it that's all the info you have.
That is all the info I have.
Thank you. That is mighty helpful. You will find the portal in the caves on the side of the cliff. Particularly, there's an entrance that you'll find 3 separate caves. You'll want to go down the one that I think we coin it the moist one? I don't know. It's a little bit danker than the others.
It's actually the stale one.
Oh, the stale one. Stale one.
The dry one.
Yeah, that's
dry.
I don't like that.
We don't
You
need to
want
talk about
Better than
Jay's
being
stale
salty.
dry tunnel.
I don't like any of that.
You'll want to head down the dry tunnel. Past 2 chasms and a series of, once you hit the work stone, there's going to be a series of traps, mostly disabled, but still be careful. At one point, you'll need to hit a hidden brick that is on the, I believe, easternmost side of the room in order to get past an acid pool. It's a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tricky, but I trust you'll have people who can go through it. When you get out, take a left, not a right. Right will lead you to, well, bad place.
A trap.
Yeah. After that, it's a long trek down. Anyone going down is going to want to have some holy water on them, or else they'll start hurting from the portal's energy. After a long decline, you'll find the entrance to the portal. For safe passage, that's a little bit tricky. There is a demon that watches over it. Or at least a fiend in nature. It might be a devil. I don't really know all the differences. But either way, real mean watching it. And you're going to have to do some sort of ritual to convene and be able to remove her from that spot. Details of that I don't know. I'm not powerful. But it is doable. Once you get the demon away from the portal, it's not safe, but it's the safest you're going to find it. That's how we're going to...
Incredibly detailed. I have a feeling you're telling the truth.
We had a deal. I may be, I may be slippery, but I won't go back on a deal. Yes.
The guy turns and looks at it.
No. At this point, Finker's going to go and have a look at the clock.
I thought you were going to rat him out for something he'd forgotten. He backed out on.
No.
Nyx looks away.
No, I think he's just going to go have a look at the days of Get Cool.
Wow. I would have liked this disclosure about the demon up front, or at least a warning that you didn't know exactly how to get past it, but I think you're dealing in good faith, and I will honor my end. And he looks to Xyler, who has turned back into the half-orc at this point, and goes and gets a small box, brings it over, lockbox, and unlocks it. And inside is one of the weapons. It is some sort of firearm. It's looks more to us like an autoloader style weapon with more of a squared off top, not a revolver or a flintlock. But instead of there being someplace where a cartridge would load, it's hollow there, and there's a crystal floating in there. This one is red, a reddish crystal, kind of long and pointed on both ends, but not perfect. It's irregularly created. So it's organic, and it's sitting there just kind of hovering in the center of this area, not glowing or anything. And he slides the box open over to you.
He will close the box, pick it up, and hand it over to Primeheart. I think you have a safer place to put this, friend.
Okay.
Xyler looks to Bezel, a little like they took the box, and he nods and looks at the key, and he hands over the keys for it as well.
Thank you kindly.
And then Xyler goes over to behind the bar again, and Bezel looks up. Do you want to take your prize with you now, or do you want me to deliver it somewhere?
We might take a moment with it, and then would it be potential to have it transported after?
Absolutely. I will not be leaving my cage with you, though. You might want to have your own. I don't know what they'll be like out of it.
Good to know.
And Xyler turns and walks over and pulls something underneath the bar. You don't see it, and a wall panel kind of clicks open nearby, and he walks over and he pops open the wall, and motions.
It's been a pleasure doing
sewers in the city.
Relatively. We have a couple friends who frequent.
Can you navigate successfully your way out? Were you dumped somewhere randomly in them?
Maybe. I have a pretty good memory.
I've been in the streets before.
Good. You'll find an exit down there. Once you take it, it will close behind you. Please make sure it closes. And then you can send me an address, and I'll deliver it wherever you like. Soon, please. End of the week.
Absolutely.
I'm tired of feeding it.
Absolutely. And we appreciate the business. It's been a pleasure. Again, perhaps send word once you've decided on a value of those tools. I might be interested in acquiring them myself.
And he finally goes over and looks at them, and he actually does some work himself and kicks it open and unrolls the tools. And he kind of looks over them and he sniffs them. I may have someone who's been looking for this, but I'll let you know.
Thank you kindly.
And Zyler leaves the door open there and walks over and starts rolling up the tool roll. And you guys are basically expected at this point to leave unless you have something else to say.
I think Finka was inspecting.
Yes, Finku. So you go over and you look at the massive this old ancient antique clock, the table clock that had been not table but mantle clock that had been once very beautiful and gorgeous, and now was in utter shambles and pieces, filling a vase of clear blown glass vase, sitting over a little engraved plaque in beautiful brass and elegant engraving that says
Pen 15.
It says
You're 5.
It says, "Don't forget."
That's not ominous.
All I can think of is Full Metal Alchemist. God damn it!
Full Metal Alchemist.
Don't.
God damn it.
Don't forget. He'll actually say that out loud.
At that point, Bezel's head snaps around and looks at you and just glares daggers.
What are we not meant to be forgetting?
Something I forgot. And
what's
he takes
that?
the coin and he slowly slides it and sits on it again and just glares at you and doesn't say another word.
All right, let's go check out our gun gates.
Mm-hmm.
Nyx will be the last person to leave because they went back into Thomas. They've been looking at Zyler because this is the first changeling that they have seen ever in their life. So they're just looking at them and for a moment go, didn't realize that there were more.
Callie bows to Bezel and in Draconic again says, "Thank you. It was nice meeting you." And when following Prime out, Heart out. Oh, go ahead.
He turns at that point, finally looking away from Finku, and confused by why you're carrying a cat, and not sure where that came from. And he says in Draconic, "Thank you for being at least a little respectful."
He just nods. And as she's following Prime Heart out, she kind of leans over to Xyler and very, very quietly, under her breath, whispers, "He's big and powerful, but I'm the one you should be afraid of. Touch him and I'll kill you." And she walks out behind Primeheart.
Following Primeheart, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then everyone else leaves. Thomas comes up and does that. Or Nyx actually dropped to Nyx persona. And
I went back to Thomas.
Oh, okay.
I had gone back to Thomas.
He just kind of smiles and shrugs a little. He doesn't say anything. At least not to that.
They're walking up and
And he'll shut the secret passage behind you. You are in a stairwell that's well lit with ever burning torches. And you walk down the stairs, and it kind of doubles back a couple times. So you think you're going down in kind of just a square underneath the city somewhere. After about maybe 2 stories worth of stairs, it opens up into a small room, and this small room contains a cage. And this cage is in the center of the room, out of reach of any of the walls, and out of reach, enough walking space on one side so that anybody standing there would also be out of reach of anyone in this cage. In fact, there's a line on the ground that seems to denote that. On the far wall, you can see a door. Other than that, there's nothing in this room. You see, you see Amy, the Nocturne, laying on the floor of this cage. Next to her is a little water cup and a little a plate of food that looks untouched.
Are you okay?
Doesn't seem to move.
Owen is going to cast message. Amy, if you're in there still, we've met before. We're getting you out of here.
When you say that, she actually raises her head. Her eyes are completely open as soon as they turn. You think maybe she was faking laying there. And she looks to see you and recognizes a couple of you. And in a moment, a heartbeat, she's up on her feet. And she walks up to the cage. Open the door.
I can't yet. But I will. Amy, what can you tell us?
About what?
About what happened with the king, about the other Nocturne, about you, your goals.
I failed. That's what happened to the king. He was killed.
But
nothing.
I was stopping myself, don't worry.
But I don't think he's dead.
And what makes you say that?
I was created to be connected to the king. I saw him die. I saw his killer. It was his wife. But recently, I've been getting flashes. Like he's still alive. Like I can still see what he's going through. He's lost and in pain, but I know he's alive, and I need to get to him. He's in danger. Nothing, and she looks down her hands. Nothing works here. And she looks around at the cage. You can see very faintly there are arcane symbols all over the bars of this cage.
Amy, we might be able to help you, but we need to know some things first. What do you know of the cylinder?
There are keepers. Why?
Because I don't think they're keeping in line with what your king wants.
What do you mean?
How much did you know about how the king came to be where he was?
Nothing.
And if he had had a change of mind, if he regretted everything he'd done while you were in his control, would you still serve him?
My duty is to protect the king.
Even if that meant he wasn't the king any longer.
My duty is to protect the being that I knew as king.
And if I told you the only way to keep him safe was to get him away from here, far, far away from here, would you be able to do that?
I can't disobey his wishes. But I would try.
That's good to know. I think we may have a solution to that. But we gotta discuss it, and we gotta arrange for you to be brought out of here. We can't do it right now. But we will.
And she gets frustrated and turns and punches the bars on the far wall away from you. The sound rattling through this tiny room. And she sighs and grabs the bars.
And if we're gonna do this, we need to know everything you know. About the cylinder, about what you know about yourself, the other Nocturne. Really about everything you know from start to finish.
I wasn't created to know things.
What you do? Sometimes we're created for one thing, we end up picking a few other things along the way. And that is how you're going to protect your king.
By betraying those that keep me.
Yes. Because if they have their way, he's going to be in more danger than he ever was.
Get this cage open, and I'll tell you whatever you need to know.
We'll be sending for you shortly.
She just kind of turns away from you.
All right. I think we're done here. Unless anyone else has any questions.
Not for her.
Kind of takes a little bit of a step closer.
Her head turns a little bit as she hears your feet move, just so she can see where your feet are. Have you crossed the line?
No. Is there anything mundane that you'd like to have? That you've never had before, but you wouldn't mind having it? Like a notebook or a nice necklace? A dog?
200 pounds of mithril.
I said mundane, but I have like 3 gold. I don't think I can get that for you. He smiles a little bit.
She kind of looks around a bit. A file.
Yeah.
You can put it on a necklace.
I'll see what I can do. He kind of takes a step back to where he was.
Finker's just not going to mention that thieves' tools have a file in them.
Neither does Thomas.
Nathan's not being serious. He's being sarcastic.
It's hard to tell with Nathan sometimes.
Most of the time he's joking.
But I bet she isn't. I bet she really does want that file.
Oh no, he knows.
You know what?
He's very aware.
So you guys leave through the exit there?
Believe so.
As you pop out of
Yes.
the door. What? Yes, Riku?
Just as they're leaving, Finker's going to sort of pull Owen down a little bit. Just so, and quietly, so I think we should get that sorted for tomorrow. I don't think having her in here any longer is gonna help our prospects.
I agree. I think we just need to figure out where we're bringing her and what exactly we're going to do.
Want the safe houses?
I don't think that's a good idea.
No?
The temple.
That's not a bad idea.
If you're
I don't-
okay with that, Callie.
No, there's a spare room there now. She looks over at Primeheart and kind of smiles.
Will someone take this gun away from me? I don't want it.
I'll take it.
I want to have a look.
I don't like how
Someone
eager
that
you
isn't
said that.
Nix.
I'll take it.
Excuse
Didn't
I am also
we
a
should-
tinkerer. There is a part of me. There is
I don't like you.
However-
Please. No.
Primeheart, could I please have a look at
Ow.
it?
No, I'm sorry for even asking.
At the very least, we should
Think
leave
is
it
more
in one of the
reliable.
bags of.
I'm
We should
literally
leave it
in
in
the
one of the
process
bags of
of
holding
making
at the
one of
end
these
of the
things.
map.
Yeah.
What?
He just holds even closer. Regretful.
3 people were talking at once.
Sorry.
Let's get out of here.
It was a lot of
Talking.
it was a lot of sounds.
What? God.
Nothing that concerns you.
You know these ones or these ones.
I'm making a cartridge firearm. It's nothing special.
She steps all the way as far as she can close to the side that you guys are on.
Why? You know about any guns?
And she reaches her hand through the bars, her arm, and puts her hand up like she's asking for something.
Fuck no.
Do you want like a high five or
Now's
Maybe a
not
peanut?
the time, Nathan.
She kind of puts her arm out a little more and accentuates that.
If you want anything for in that manner, you're gonna have to do a lot of convincing.
And she twists and puts her arm out as far as possible, stretching her middle finger out straight, hand down. Primeheart, something starts to shake inside of your bag.
No fucking way.
Inside the bag of holding?
You put it in the bag of holding?
That's why I gave it to him.
I didn't think so.
Oh
You
shit!
didn't say you put it in
He's
the
just
bag
been
of
holding it in his arms. He didn't know what to do with it.
okay.
Fuck.
So you're holding it. Yeah, it's shaking. You
Fuck.
can hear kind of a rattling inside of it, and it's getting louder.
I don't like that.
Begins to walk away.
what are you doing?
It starts to calm down as you walk away, but it's still going, and it's still building a little bit, and it will build back up to the point it was. Do you leave?
Yeah.
Walmart. Put in the bag of holding.
Okay. No, put it in the bag of holding.
Do you have everything in the bag of holding set aside on your sheet? You know exactly what's in there?
I don't think anything's in the bag of holding right now. I usually empty it, and I just have it just in case.
Okay.
Oh, that question is scary.
It really is.
One fear.
Many fears.
So you put this in the
Plural.
bag of holding, then what?
I just stop where I am. They're
Okay.
done.
We should get out of here.
Is it still shaking?
You can't tell inside a bag of holding.
Amy, I promise we're coming back for you soon. And we can talk about
She's
everything.
concentrating hard. Her arm is outstretched as far as possible. It almost barely touches the line.
Let's get out of here. It's
Alright.
clearly she's trying to get it. I don't want her on. I don't want her to have that damn thing.
Let's go now.
Okay. I don't know what's going on.
Do we know if her body is humanoid underneath the?
You have
Armor?
no clue. You have
I'm gonna
no
use-
clue.
Okay, then I'm going to invoke ghostly gaze. I have the ability to now see through solid objects.
Yeah, maybe we need to stop doing that. All right. Where is it? Can I see it,
Yeah.
please?
Let me.
What's it?
It is one of my Eldritch invoke.
You're gonna have to share it for.
I am.
I got it.
Woo. You're looking through a woman's armor? How dare you, Nathan? I didn't think you were that
He
kind of
says
man.
nothing, and his eye just kind of flickers with a purple.
That was
light.
Gabby.
I know, but his eye just kind of flickers with a purple light. He's seeing if he can tell, like, if it's an internal thing she's doing. Plus he's curious, because, nocturnes, they're different. Also, I wanted to use my new toy.
He's pondering. It terrifies me when he ponders sometimes.
Yeah.
Checking a rule.
Oh, wow. God.
You look around and it works everywhere except about 3 feet around the cage and the cage itself. It seems like all magical abilities are being deadened in that area.
He's gonna look at the bag of holding.
You see Primeheart behind a ghostly bag. You can't see into the actual
I figured.
other plane.
I figured.
Yeah.
I figured. Just making sure.
Let's get out of here. Thomas starts walking
Primeheart
out.
already has.
Yeah.
So the doors open and the other side of it looks perfectly like the sewer walls. It doesn't. It's actually really well hidden. It's a one-way door. Obviously, you're not getting back in this way, and it is got some sort of spring mechanism, so it tries to close as soon as you're. I mean, as you're opening it, it's heavy because it's trying to close. Who's the last one out?
Nathan.
You do anything, or you just let it close?
He's gonna turn around and kind of look at her.
She's stopped reaching through the bars at that point, and she's just got her back to you guys.
And as the door closes, he's gonna keep staring through the door.
And it closes. There's no. She doesn't change.
Thomas goes up
Nathan?
to make sure it's closed.
Yeah, do you want to check that that's close?
And he blinks, and his eye is back to normal. He blinks, his eye goes from purple back to his gray color.
And you find yourselves in the sewers, and you're in an area that you don't necessarily recognize, but very quickly you find your way through to a upper area of the city, and you're just a couple of blocks away.
Where do I take it? I don't want it.
Pinballs?
I'm I mean, I do have a vault at the estate, but I don't know.
Is it?
If we can get Pinball to identify it.
Yeah, definitely.
Pinball needs a break today. Can we put it in the vault until maybe tomorrow? Let Pinball have a day. I can go to my temple and start prepping space for Amy, and then it's on the other side of the city from her.
The Greasers Guild. Maybe that place.
Prime Heart does not want us to have it, and I understand.
He doesn't want me to have it.
Doesn't want me to have it either. I understand.
What exactly? It's a gun?
Kind of.
Magical one.
Whose gun is it?
As I assume.
Cylinders.
Yeah.
Probably hers.
She seemed very lenient on it.
It's either hers or it has something to do with her essence.
Probably.
I imagine the people who made her also made the guns.
So you think it's connected to her? That's why it was.
Yep.
Definitely.
And why she
Absolutely.
seemed very grabby for it.
Makes sense.
Even I'm not that needy.
Me either.
Because while I'd like to see it, I don't need it for what I'm doing.
It will be safe. At least as safe as it can be without. I can cast a spell for some time. It'll last for like an hour. But if I
Prime's gonna try to figure out where we're going. Like how to get out of the sewers.
You're already out.
We already got out.
Okay, good. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Nathan, you have a spell that can protect it?
sort of. What it is, it's a cylinder of magical energy, and anything inside of it, it can be protected from creatures. But it's particularly celestials, elementals, fays, and fiends, or undead.
Well, those nocturnes definitely don't seem mortal of any kind.
I don't know how useful it will be against them, but I can cast it twice before without needing to rest. And I could probably do it.
They're almost certainly undead.
Okay, then I can, if I stay in the vault, next to the vault at least, probably in the vault, because then I'd have to...
Nathan, I'm sorry, but didn't you have someone that controlled the nocturne that's like really close to you?
Who?
What are you talking about?
I thought that the vessel was able to control the nocturne. I'm just gonna take it back to my camp. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it.
It's far enough away from the city.
Fine.
I'd rather keep it with me then.
Yeah, fine.
So, who has sending to tell Bezel where to take Amy?
That's gonna have to be something we figure out. You know what?
I believe he just said to drop a message off with the address.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's not a problem.
Yeah, that also reminded me I'm gonna have to do a few things. I might have to catch up with you all later. I have a few things I gotta get done.
Fair. Unless you'll need me for something, I'm gonna go for a walk.
I guess I'm going to go prepare a room for Amy, and then Primal head home after, okay?
Why you really gotta tell that cat to go away, Callie? It keeps following you.
Can't help it.
Tosses some fish crackers at it. Please, it's okay.
Mari is just attracted to my animal magnetism.
So you were chick magnet. Nope, I'm not going with that joke.
Oh God, I know what you were gonna say.
Oh.
ask Nathan.
He's looking at Owen.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
That doesn't seem like a very convincing never mind.
No, it isn't.
Oh, you know me so well.
You're easy to read.
And I've hit you with a stick enough times to know when you're actually in pain.
You sounded like you wanted to be alone, that's all. Which is totally okay.
I got something I gotta attend to.
It's fine.
Do you not want to be alone tonight?
I'm not actually Mari's staying at the estate. She's actually under the weather, so I'm taking care of her right now.
Well,
Loud.
I'll drop by later.
Okay. I'm okay.
You know there's magic for that. Do you mean to come by and help? Or is she like emotionally under the... I mean, I can help with that too.
She's got a cold.
Okay.
Sometimes you
Exactly
just
that.
gotta let things run their course.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's not really poison, yeah.
She, it's because of one who went to the castle. She got a cold from being in the water too long. Poor thing.
Oh,
I'll come over and see if I can help later.
Okay.
I'll see all of you later.
You okay?
I have things that I have to attend to. Very important things, actually.
Best of luck.
Yeah. And Thomas is gonna walk in as he's walking away. You also notice the hood turns into a dark blue. That's usually worn with Dell. That's usually associated with the Dell persona. You guys would know.
Owen heads off.
All right.
Nathan goes home and he actually he goes into his studio for a bit to just kind of paint.
Okay.
Do you want me to come with you back to camp? And then go back
I'll go
to
with
the
you. temple? Don't worry.
Okay.
Think if you want to look at the... If you want to look at it,
It's fine.
just look at it. Okay.
I didn't want to intrude. Like I said, it's not essential. I am far along enough with my own projects. I might spend a bit of time on them. I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
Thank you. Well, if you need anything, you know where to find me.
I do. Thank you. And same applies to you, although I'm pretty sure Callie will be fairly close by.
Do you need a hug?
I don't need a hug, but one would be nice if you're offering.
Summer gives him a hug.
I think you return to the hug.
Do I get in on this hug action?
I mean, if you want to.
Am I already gone?
Callie wants all the action, let's be honest.
You get a good smushy hug from Callie.
Fair. This is fine.
Okay. Take care, Finku.
I'll try. It's been one of those weeks, I guess. And he leaves.
The second that Primheart and Kelly are alone, she looks up at him. Do you need to talk about it?
About what?
Why we hate the guy in with the faces?
No, I just thought it'd be funny to do. I don't really care anymore. I was angry at one point, and he'll begin to talk about... I told him that he was my quarry, and he begins laughing. I don't know what that meant. The guy can change his face. I couldn't find him.
I wasn't sure. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Nix, you had your fingers up. Did you want to say something?
One of the things I realized I'm going to have to do differently, because it probably wouldn't work, but I did have a thing that I did want to do. If Logan would be okay with this.
Sure, go for it.
Okay. Well, first thing that Nyx does is that they have a courier send a message to someone. I will DM you who and what the contents of that message is going to be. And the other thing that they are going to do, they go to the Temple District as Bridget.
Right.
Fucking hell, don't give me that look, Russell.
And where in the Temple District is Bridget going?
A wild fucking guess.
Callie's place.
Fair, but no. Bridget has her hood up. Goes to the... No, they do this as Dell. And they go to the Temple District.
Alright.
And as Dell, they walk in, they have their hood up. They're looking around, seeing if they can see Ezra.
You do not see Ezra right away. Walking around, but one of the other members comes up to you. Can I help you?
Ezra, I'm looking for him.
He's here today, but he's very busy. Is there something I can help you with?
I had a message from Bridget. I'm trying to remember what it was. Her words were, she seemed pretty nervous about it. Something like need to talk about her hours, or something like that. And if he ever has the time, whenever he's next available, you might be able to come by to talk with him about it.